Okay, so how do you identify common challenges in your business? You have to sit down, you have to make room, look at what are the things that you've had as problems and how best you want to solve them, because every business has a challenge. It may be solved as little as airtime, like we just experienced now. I actually had data and I realized that a call came in and enough, and I have to again. So it may be as little as, what am I spending on data for my business every month? What am I spending on airtime? Am I advertising enough? Am I advertising well enough to the right audience? Not just because I think everybody needs my business. No, not that. Not that. Also, now, when you identify all your challenges, you have to look at what are the key challenges. In Nehemiah's case, there was a problem. There were problems. And what was the problem? People had food shortage in Nehemiah chapter 5. And what was the thing? They were not going to farm. They were building the wall. But the people needed to eat. People had their families. They had children. They had wives. They had husbands. They needed to eat. There was food shortage. There was also the need to be responsible. They were all farmers because we're already used to their lives being just laid back. The wall is broken. Let's just eat and move on. There was a bigger vision that they were not seeing. They needed someone to drive it. But there were problems. There was food. There was a local farming. People were thinking, okay, because we're rebuilding the wall, nobody's going to farm. Because we're rebuilding the wall, nobody is bringing the best to the business. What do we do next? Also, people had to borrow money. They said, because the former governors of Israel were taxing them so high, and they need to pay tax, because if you don't pay tax, they will carry your family, and a man will feel so redundant when he cannot take care of his family. They were now taking loans. Now, in the process of trying to repay back the loans, they didn't have enough resources to repay back. They were now selling their, I apologize, it's supposed to be daughters. They were selling their daughters into slavery, their kids into slavery. So their daughters were now becoming, imagine people that had a promise from God, becoming housemates in the houses of the Philistines, in the houses of people from Samaria, even in the houses of people that were their neighbors, the Amalekites in Babylon, because their families could not pay up debts due to loans, and they had to sell them out as slaves. Also, there were security threats and ideologies. So Sambala and Tobiah said, you put in that you're building wall. This wall that, yes, if somebody mistakenly, one child used to leg and hit it, the brick will fall. It was so discouraging. People that had been gingered, ready to set the business running, and then all of a sudden say, you think that your business idea will fly? Don't worry, as soon as you get to regulatory, they'll just throw it into the bush. They were just weak ideologies, weak thoughts, weak ideas, security threats that we say, they'll come and say, don't worry, we're coming to meet people with scatter that in your building. There were lots of threats, market fluctuations. In our time, it's market fluctuations. Today, I'll give an example, very funny example. As of July 30th, there's something I'm doing. Maybe one of my classmates is here. And we're saying that they should pay $1,004 per dollar for what we're paying for. We didn't understand. We're like, what's happening? I was asking questions, only for us to find out that August 1, dollar jumped from 1.4 to 1.6. Please, who pays for the 200 naira difference? Imagine somebody that had bought in goods and was about to pay for clearing at the port, dollar rate, 1,006. We're targeting at 1,004 as of July 25, 26, 27. That's a market fluctuation. What do you do about it? And now dollar is now dancing at 1,005. So if you had cleared at 1.6, who pays the difference of the 100 naira? You say your customer, yes, but also you're going to be bearing loss because the customer too needs money to pay. He needs to be able to pay for your goods and services. So those are the things that have been impacting all of the things that made the business go for the business idea of building the wall for Nehemiah. These were the issues. So what next? There were financial constraints. Nehemiah had money, yes, but the money was just to buy wood. A place that they were not farming, there were not enough wood. If you can bring wood from another town, how many people will be able to bring it? That means the day they go to carry wood, people will not build the wall that day. The day they go to carry cement, people will not build the wall. Those are the issues that were on ground. It happens to us every day. Limited cash flow. You have great ideas. You want to bring a new product. You're into skincare. You think that if you bring this formulation and that formulation and this, and then when you try it in your bedroom, in your house, you see it works in your lab, you go to the regulatory, they say, no, you're supposed to reduce this amount of chemical here. You're supposed to put this. What do? or you have planned that these are the kind of woods you want to use and you design it with resin and all of that. When you get to the wood market, the man tells you that this is the gradation of wood you need for this, but this is what are available. What do? You have budget constraints. Budget is always changing at every point in time for many businesses in Nigeria. Those are one of the things that you see as a business challenge. Then you now think about, okay, now the market is changing. What do I do next? Your customer today liked the way your shawarma tasted because you didn't put so much sauce. You put this kind of spices. But when you went back to the market, you realize that the spices had gone a little bit higher by 300 naira on each of the spice. You now say, okay, fine, let me reduce the spice. The customer say, no. For me, said that spice, that shawarma I'm doing was not sweet enough. You need to add this and that. And you see once at the same rate. Those are the issues that are coming. They come as bombardments, challenges to your business. You're looking at trends, technological advancements. AI is now becoming the breakfast for many people. But like I heard from a pastor, there's AI and then there's divine intelligence. No matter how much artificial intelligence gets to, the Holy Spirit is still our divine intelligence. So what do you do? How do you prepare yourself? You have to be agile. You have to look for how to stay competitive. You have to look for how to stay ahead of the pack. If AI helps you to do this, what can you do better to be able to increase your business chances? Also, recruiting, one of the biggest banes in many businesses. Some people actually come into your business with the mind of the devil. I won't lie to you. Their mind is not to increase your business. Their mind is to see how your business will crash. You now have to think of how to be sure that, yes, you are plugging this hole, you are plugging that hole. Like somebody says in HR that it costs 5 times more to recruit a new person to do the same role somebody else was doing, because you can as well manage the person that was there before and know how to keep the person satisfied than to start improving and working on the new person to get to the level of satisfaction. Those are kind of issues that we always experience in businesses. What are the things that we work out for? Also, supply chain, logistics. Fuel now is a big problem in Nigeria. I saw a lot of queues today and I was like, what on earth? Somebody wants to buy, you're an online business. Somebody wants you to deliver. You have to consider how much you will charge the person to be able to get that delivery done the same day. Because if you charge the person at your old rate and your guy that carries bike to go and buy the things, to go and deliver for you, says, madam, there's no fuel. The fuel I bought it at black market. You can't argue with it because you want to meet your customer's needs. Those are the kind of issues that are coming in. Then globalization, you're using DHL. DHL tells you that, okay, this is what happens. And then when it gets there, let's say you sell food, you send food items, dry food items out of Nigeria. You get to the airport, they tell them that, sorry, this product has been prohibited by government last week. You were not aware. What do? And DHL comes back, your product is a mess. You cannot fix it. Those are the kind of problems that come in, even from supply chain disruptions. Also, regulatory. One of the biggest problems worldwide, especially in Nigeria, because somebody just wakes up tomorrow and says, this industry, I'll give an industry, very nice one, telco. This industry, I think they've been doing like this. No. Go and clamp them on them. Give them 24 hours, they must sort it. 24 hours for 79 million customers, 24 hours for 59 million customers. How do you start that? Those are the kind of issues that we deal with every day in our environment. Also, we think of customer relations. How do you retain them? What do? Do you do buy one, get one free every time you want to do a promotion just because you want to keep your customers with you? Or do you think of the fact that the customer says, I gave you this data last week, does not mean you have a right to use that data? Facebook is facing that now. Now Nigeria is telling them that some of the adverts that they used and they share to us in Nigeria are not meant for our Nigerian environment. What Meta is saying, what do you mean? I don't understand. I thought your environment was done by this, and they're giving them regulatory issues. Customers are saying, okay, fine, I don't enjoy the way it's running Facebook. I'm going off Facebook. What do you do? Those are the kind of issues that are coming on board. Then you think of how to implement new technology. Cybersecurity is one of our biggest problems now. You don't even know who's using your picture where. You don't know who's using your picture, who's using your information to do what? To collect money from people. WhatsApp accounts are being hacked day in, day out. What is happening? These types of issues are coming up day in, they are presenting. You have to keep abreast. How ready are you to ensure that what you are doing as a business person stays ahead of time? You think of operational efficiencies. Yes, all of the problems on board has come on. I'm not a bad person to say that. I see them every day. What next? How can you reduce operational costs? What are you thinking of going to cut? Are you going to cut airtime use? Are you going to cut this? Are you going to cut that? Those are the things that every business person looks at. And then you think of how to be innovative, how to stay ahead of the game, because we have to stay. The business has to stay fresh now. I cannot be running a business and not be fresh. I have to stay fresh in business. I have to stand out. I have to think of the fact that if I want to stand out in my business, I have to stand out well. I can't just stand out like because I feel I should just, no. Those are the kind of things that we look at as a business person. Then, please, can you hear me? I just want to be sure I'm not speaking to myself. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome. Thank you. So, now how do you lead with resilience? For me, you have to create a positive mindset. Every day you wake up as a business person, as someone that runs a business, any kind of business, it may be as an employer or as an employee, because if you're an employee, you're an intrapreneur. You're actually bringing something on board in the business. So you wake up every morning, have a positive mindset. I'm going to win today, no matter what it brings to me, no matter what happens. I see every challenge that comes my way today as an opportunity to do better and be ready to do it, because everybody in your business looks at you as the person that is going to bring the solution. It's hard, yes. Why? Am I the only one that has solution? Oh, yes, it's your business. You are running it. How well can you run a business that, yes, there will be no trouble? That's the issue. So you have to have a positive mindset, be able to embrace change and ready to sustain the resilience I have started developing in your business. Also, while creating a positive mindset, be ready that, yes, the worst that can happen is the worst that has happened before. What next? How do you do that? You also have to embrace change and adaptability. You always learn to stay ahead of the game, always learn to see how best you learn new things. Okay, you hear a new thing is coming up in a new space in your industry. What else? How best can I latch into it? How best can I walk into it? The Holy Spirit is your teacher, actually, because he reveals a lot of things to many of us that we take lightly. You may just hear in your mind that, prices are going to be changing in this place. Look for how to adapt your prices. You may just think, nah, it's just a thought. It's not a thought. It's actually how best you can use your business to grow. So be ready to embrace change and adaptability. Think of how best you can bring your people on board to be able to bring ideas to improve the things that are coming up in your business. Also, look at how to sustain your resilience in the long run. Resilience is like the handbook for your business. So be ready to think that, yes, when anything happens, how best can we dust off the dust from all of the troubles and put our head up high, wash our face, and move on. That's how best you should think of how to sustain your business with resilience. Also, I want to end with my dear friend Nehemiah. Now, Nehemiah had done everything. The wall had been built. And what next? So, what are the lessons from Nehemiah? It was simple. Nehemiah prayed. He was a man of prayer. He didn't avoid prayers any time. He always thought about it. Okay, what next? Almost every chapter in the book of Nehemiah talked about Nehemiah going to the Lord in prayer over one issue. When he heard about what happened, he went to the Lord in prayer. When he wanted help from the king, he went to the Lord in prayer. When the threats came in, he went to the Lord in prayer. When they were about dedicating and they were counting, he went to the Lord in prayer. So Nehemiah was always there talking to God. He did not think that, yes, because I have the authority and the power. No, he needed God and he put God first. Also, he was a prudent planner. Nehemiah didn't feel that because the king had given him his seal, go and do everything as you like, anyhow. No. He went, looked at the vision, thought about it, and said to sit down, count the cost, look at how best he could work on it and develop it. He was also a motivator. Nehemiah didn't say, Shebi is the wall of Jerusalem. They should understand that the wall is broken now. We should be able to build it. Let's see how best we can build it. Nehemiah went as far as saying, okay, fine. Let's see how to get this people ready. Let's tell them the effects of this thing. What are the side effects? What are the things that will happen if we do it this way, if we do it that way? So he was a confident motivator, and he kept everybody ready and agile that no matter what, we die here, we die here. Also, he was focused on giving God glory. When the wall was built, I did not say, this is the power of Nehemiah. Nehemiah have built the wall. Wall has been built. It's not time to rule. No, he went back to the same person that gave him the vision and helped him to overcome the circumstance and make the vision come alive. He gave God glory. He was also committed to obedience. When all of this had happened and it was more like, okay, what next? And that, he now went back and said, see, how do we do this? What do we do here? Where do we do what? I was willing to obey instructions on how next to go. For us as people, what do? We need to plan for resilience in Nehemiah. I'm going to be leaving the scriptures. I may be sharing my slide, but these scriptures, I can put them up through Ratonia to put online. All of them are here. How do you plan like in Nehemiah? You pray. You don't keep quiet. You have a vision. It's burning in your heart. God has laid it in your heart. No, it's not time for barrier and paper. Go back to the source of the vision. What next? How next? And then he will give you blueprints. That, like the architect will do. The architect knows what the house will look like. But he doesn't just start building the house. He has to write out the plan. Look at the foundation. Where does this go to? Where does that go to? Where do we put this? Where do we put that? Also, you have to do an assessment of where you are. Now, there are some visions that cannot come up today. It's not a lie. You have a vision to build a 20-story building, a 20-story hotel, 20-story hotel in Lagos, and then you are living at Jangbadi. Your money is what can build only one story. I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, man. You can't just say, no. I want to build one story building. I want to build 20-story building here. It's not. You have to assess thoroughly. Is it time? Where do I do this? How do I do this? Put everything in check and in place. You seek God's vision. You don't just assume that because you heard it, you should run with it. No. I heard somebody say that every door can be open, but not all doors are God's open doors. There are false doors that may put a trap to you. So you have to seek God's vision on it. What does God say about this? Then you develop strategies and tactics. At this, why should I go about this? Where should I go next? What should I do? You count the cost. Yes, it's good to build, but Jesus Christ said that he is that wants to build a house that will not sit down and count the cost. Imagine somebody that wants to build 2-story building, and then at foundation, he realized that the money that he had planned will not go anywhere. You have to also count the cost before you start. Look at it. Can I do this now? Or should I just do it to this level and stop and do that? You also think of how to execute your plan and ensure your plan is done right. Then also establish accountability. You have to be accountable for everything that comes along. You're accountable to yourself and to the owner of your business, who is God. Also, how do we implement Nehemiah's plan? You have to learn to release your vision to your people. You have people in your circle, your mentors, people that you believe that can run the vision with you. How best can you run with them? You have to learn to release your vision to them. You have to see how to face opposition personally. Sanballat and Tobiah was always making fun of them. But one of the things that I love that Nehemiah did, he didn't say because I'm a leader, let's see, you go and answer them. No, he went and answered them himself. So they knew that there was real ready leadership opposition coming. It's not because I own the business, let me send my PR person. No, he was ready to answer the business himself, was ready to answer opposition and deal with it squarely. Be ready to see the opposition as a project. Opposition is a project. How do you deal with them? Yes, competition will always come. You're a business person. If no matter what, there are lots of birds in the air, yes, but some birds compete for more space than the other. That's why eagle wants to stay on his own lane and not going to be fighting with all the so-called pigeons. So you have to distinguish, am I ready to be like an eagle? Am I ready to sit myself and move on and distinguish myself in my field? Or am I ready to go with the crowd because everybody is doing it the way it is, even in the same industry? Also, you have to protect your project. Your project is your vision. You have a vision already. What do you want to make your vision run like? You want it to be like a mediocre, and then when you die, nobody hears about it again, or do you want to run with it? Then you have to protect your staff. I always say it. Every employer that does not see his employee as his first spouse is not ready to run a business, because your employee, even if as an employee and you are leading people that report to you directly, are the first people you see as the most important. Because if your employee can run your business, your customers will always come back. no matter what. But if your employees, no matter how good your customers and how much they love your business, if you have bad employees, they will run your business down. So you have to take your people, protect them. What Nehemiah did was that he had people that were warriors alongside builders. And see, anything happens, I won't allow people to fail. I won't allow people to go into trouble. I'm here with you. I'm here for you. Also, you have to learn to motivate them. The person that is strong enough as a legal person cannot do the work of HR. I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry. The person that is strong enough as an accountant cannot do the work of a salesman. No, sir. No, man. The person that is strong enough as a marketing assistant or in the marketing space cannot do the work of a salesperson. No, they are two different things. We have to learn to divide and conquer. Bible says dividing the word of truth. So we have to know how to divide everything, divide everybody's role, look at their strengths and their weaknesses and how best they can run your businesses. Give them the right assignments for the project. Also, set authority structures for function. One of the things that Nehemiah did that helped him is that for every part of the wall that was being built, he had somebody that was the leader of the pack. So it was easy to say, what's happening to this? Okay, we've been able to use 500 bricks for here. We need 20 more bricks. Is your leader aware? Yes, he is. How is he running? What next do you need to do? How do you need to run about it? He had put authority structures for all of the functions. Then address unfairness and unify the people. We're all mortals. Even Jesus Christ had people that had among his disciples, some of them were disgruntled. That was when he said that, I know all of you will leave me. Don't worry. I know that Peter said, when he said, he asked Peter and the others, are you going to? So people will want to come, people will want to go, some people want to see how do you treat them when there are issues in their business. Should they give their life for you? Should they stake their heads for your business? Those are the kind of things you look at. Address unfairness. Know where to put the carrot and the stick in your business. Know when to unify people. Know when to tell them, I'm sorry, I have to let you go. You cannot stay in my business anymore. And then all of a sudden, also please lead by example. Your business is not a business that is just running because you want to make money. No. It's always been said that most African businesses don't last into second generation because they don't plan for the future. So you have to lead by example. What is your dream? If your dream is a 30-year dream, after 30 years, can you hand it over to somebody else to expand your dream and make it bigger than you? Those are the kind of things you should do while implementing. Because Nehemiah did that when he went back, they said, no, you have to become the governor of the city. And that's how he was running. Here are my references. I was helped by the Holy Spirit and some of my thoughts from people that are here. I'm going to share this also. You can also read more from them. So I have come to the end of my discussion.